I was overweight, not very confident in myself, always kind of suffered with body issues and just image as well. Yeah, I wasn't in a great place. Had quite a lot of personal stuff going on. I lost my grandfather at the back end of last year, lost my dad at the beginning of this year. So overall, it was quite an emotional year, losing two people really close to me. And I was just going through a few other things as well. So that kind of affected the way I was eating, how much sport I was doing, my moods and how I was reacting and my energy levels. So that had a massive impact on my life and where I was at that point. I was feeling pretty down. Wasn't very happy with myself in terms of the way I was looking. I've always struggled with weight throughout my whole life. So just general feeling was, just pretty low in confidence and just felt pretty down really. Just, didn't have that get up and go really. I was aware, but probably subconsciously. So I knew I wasn't feeling great. I knew the way I looked wasn't how I wanted to look, but for me, didn't really have a way of getting out of that at the time. So I didn't really have the drive and the passion to get myself, to what I wanted to be and to get myself feeling necessarily better. But I was probably more due to emotions and stuff like that. So in the past, I've used all different types of diets, from Weight Watchers to Slimming World to healthy eating, just normal exercise. But for me, something was holding me back where I would lose a certain amount of weight, and I have done in the past. However, something would trigger it back again, so I would just let it slip and let it slide back to how I was before. And that's been a constant battle throughout most of my life, really. I'd probably say since teenager age, so probably about 12, 13, around that age, going into secondary school and to be with your mates. And I was always quite active in terms of sport, but like I said, I was never the fittest person or the most healthiest person around. And again, that just kind of fluctuated throughout my teens and then into my early 20s, and it just carried on really, always up and down, yo-yoing with weight, and never really sustained a healthy lifestyle or healthy diet. It was always very, 1 minute it was great, next minute it'd be terrible again. For me, I think it was just affecting my confidence. I wanted to go out with the rest of my mates and it was just, looking a certain way and, dressing a certain way. And, sometimes you couldn't necessarily do that just because of the size you were, just didn't feel comfortable in some of the clothes you were wearing. And I think it was just a main confidence thing. A massive thing for me was either going to the beach or a swimming pool or something like that and actually taking your top off and be, feeling confident to actually walk around and, be okay. Even though probably no one gave a monkey's about what you looked like. It was all in your head of how people had that perception of you and what they thought of you at the time. I didn't know what to expect. I was very nervous about approaching Mike. Even though I've known Mike on and off for years, but I've never really kind of looked into anything like this before. So I think it was just a sense of nervousness and, not knowing what to expect. And I didn't know if it was just going to be full on fitness and eating spinach every day. I just really didn't know what to expect. It was just quite a surprise when we had the conversation when we first started. I believe I probably would have just stayed the same. I would have just yo-yoed in terms of weight. I was already at that point where I was starting to think about doing something, but I just needed that extra kickstart and that bit of support for someone to tell me what to do and give me some structure and some positive feedback when I've done something well. So I think that's the main thing that I've gained from everything. Without that, probably would have done well for a couple of weeks, had a bad week and just gone, so I'll just go back to eating crap again, basically. Mike and myself had a conversation about what the programme was about and what we would be doing over the 12 weeks. I was quite surprised that it wasn't just about weight loss and healthy eating. It was about your well-being, your mindset, and obviously there was a lot of coaching documents to go with it. And it surprised me to hear that this is what the course was about. But it was a positive surprise because obviously my mindset and well-being is something that I've never worked on before. So to actually even think about doing that was probably a little bit more exciting, as well as the losing weight and the fitness part as well. So we decided that, or I decided that I wanted to try and lose 26 pounds in the 12 weeks, which was quite a high target, but it was something that we wanted to do and, push it as much as we could. And to go along with everything else was obviously the coaching documents, which I found really, really interesting. It was something that I really got involved with, that I wanted to do. So when a new one came out, it was something that I was looking forward to actually digging deeper into and doing a bit more research into myself, mainly. Yeah, it was very structured from week to week, clear instructions from Mike about what he wanted me to achieve that week and what goals we were setting. In all fairness, I've never tried any kind of program where I've been coached by anyone. So it's always been myself, obviously going through everything. The difference for me is that actually doing the mindset stuff and the well-being stuff really made me take a step back and actually take a look at myself. And it made me deal with some of the struggles I had been going through. So the main thing with the mindset and the well-being, which really surprised me for the whole course so far. He's approachable. He's someone that, I felt like I could talk to whenever I wanted. He wouldn't just give me the answers, which from a coaching point of view, that's a great thing because it makes you think about what you're actually asking. And half of the time when I was asking questions, I already knew the answer. So just really approachable. Our Zoom calls have been great. We talk about personal stuff as well. So I felt like it's become a bit more of a friendship along the way as well. So yeah, it's been good. It's been great. Yeah, great. I have struggled some weeks. There's been a couple of weeks where I maintained the same weight, and there's also a week where I put on some weight as well. Before, I would have just gone, sod it, I'm done, that's it. I'll just go back to how I was before. I've trusted in what Mike's told me and, trusted myself in what I was doing. And, I've got back on track again. And if I don't lose it, it's not the end anymore. It's not something that's going to worry me. It's just something that you just have to keep going with now. It's changed completely. Like I say, there's a completely different mindset. I feel a lot more confident. I feel a lot more happier in myself as well. And just in terms of the weight, it just feels great to be at that point where I've lost weight in a great, safe way and been coached through it with somebody that's willing to help when they can. So I feel the best I've felt in a long time, if I'm being honest. Do it. Don't be afraid. Obviously, it can be a daunting decision to make, and it's something that takes a little bit of guts to step up and just say that you're going to change it. Mike's there to help you, but you're the only person that can change who you are and what you're doing. Yes, you can do it with help along the way, but just take responsibility and they'll be there to support you the whole way through. I think for me, it was having a coach. For me, it was having somebody that I had to report to every week. It was kind of like good structure, and I work well with that anyway. So, you don't want to let that person down as well. And I've said this, it's like they're coaching you to help you. We've had a great week. We talk about it and we'll be really happy about it. And, if I had a bad week, we'd sit back and say, you know what, it doesn't matter. This is what we're going to do this week. Forget about it. Nothing's changed. We carry on. Tired, unhealthy, unfit, not confident. I know that's two, but yeah, not confident. Probably just emotional. Confident, healthier, fitter, positive, just happy. just my whole mindset and just my mental well-being. Like I said at the beginning, it's something that I've never really focused on, and until I kind of started doing the coaching documents and all the bits that we've done, I didn't really realise kind of what place I was in and how I was feeling, you know, what emotions I was going through. Whereas now, like I said, I have a better understanding about who I am and what I've been through, and you know what I can do in the future to stop myself hopefully from getting into that position again by dealing with it the right way and helping myself from the techniques that I've learned through the coach. Yeah, it's difficult to say, but yeah, I am proud of myself. Like I said, I've lost weight before, but like you said, it was a challenge and it's something I did enjoy. But now I'm proud of what I've achieved because I've done it a healthy way, I've done it the right way, and I can look back at this and I've invested time in myself and invested time, you know, in Mike to help me. And it was 100% worth doing. And I'm proud that I actually took that step in the first place to reach out and actually, you know, ask for it. And I think that was probably the hardest bit out of the whole of the journey, was actually to start and actually reaching out in the first place. Yeah, it's a strange one because you don't really kind of reflect on what you've done normally. I personally didn't before, but it's something that through the coaching documents, I've learned how to do that now. So I've taken a lot of time to reflect on, you know, stuff that I've done through the project and stuff that I've done in the past and stuff like that. So yeah, it feels great that I can reflect, and I'm proud of actually being able to do that.